after dark. A phone left ringing, a note, a mark, a face on a board. A town holds still, one missing piece against our will. Look close, stay sharp, every detail leaves a spark. Find the trace, find the trace. Hold that line, hold that face. Find the trace, find the trace. Not tonight, not erased.
In 1990, a tragic traffic accident claimed the life of an unidentified woman in Oklahoma. More than 3 decades later, investigators still do not know her name, where she came from, or who may still be searching for her. Known today only as Jane Doe Case number 394 UFOK, she is believed to have been a black woman between the ages of 25 and 50 years old with short hair. Very little information about her has been publicly released, but even the smallest detail could someday help restore her identity. Today we're taking a closer look at the mystery surrounding this unidentified woman and the unanswered questions that remain after all of these years. The case dates back to 1990, when authorities responded to a fatal traffic accident involving an unidentified woman. The crash ultimately ended her life, and the investigators soon discovered they had another heartbreaking problem. No one seemed to have known who she was. The driver initially claimed to have picked her up 15 minutes before the crash. The man's sister stated the woman was actually a hitchhiker from Cleveland, Ohio, and may have used the names Beth or Baby. Despite efforts to identify her, the woman carried no confirmed identity the investigators could publicly connect to her remains. Fingerprints, dental records, or missing person reports either failed to produce a match, or the records simply were not available at the time. What remains today is only a small collection of physical details and a case file that continues to wait for answers. Investigators estimated that the woman was between 25 and 50 years old. She was identified as black and reportedly had short hair. She was wearing a blue and gray striped long-sleeve shirt, beige-colored long-sleeve sweater, blue corduroy pants with a woven tan-colored fabric belt, and pantyhose. She had on one of her fingers a yellow metal ring with a pink stone. I have pictures of all these things, so take a look. Unfortunately, many other details surrounding the case have either never been released publicly or may have been lost over time. Cases from the late 1980s and early 1990s often suffered from limited technology, incomplete databases, and fragmented record sharing between agencies. Today, modern DNA technology has helped solve many cold cases once thought impossible to identify. But for Jane Doe Case 394 UFOK, answers still have not come. One of the greatest difficulties in unidentified person cases is the lack of information available at the beginning of an investigation. In 1990, national databases were far more limited than they are today. Missing persons reported in one state might never have been compared to unidentified remains found in another. Some families may not have known where their loved one disappeared. Others may never have filed a missing persons report at all. And in many cases involving transient individuals, hitchhikers, or people living outside traditional support systems, there may have been very little documentation tying them to a specific place or identity. And that reality makes cases like this especially difficult. Today, advances in forensic genealogy and DNA analysis have transformed countless cold cases across the United States. Unidentified victims who remained nameless for decades are finally being identified through distant family DNA matches, genealogy databases, and improved forensic science. If viable DNA evidence still exists in the Jane Doe case, number 394 UFOK, there is always hope that the technology could someday reveal who she was. But these investigations often require funding, laboratory access, and renewed public attention. That's one reason videos like this matter. Somewhere, there may still be people who remember a woman who suddenly disappeared in 1990 and never came home. A daughter, a sister, a mother, a friend. And there is some indication that she has an abdominal scar that looks like it may have been a C-section scar. So she may have a child out there somewhere. For unidentified victims, the mystery does not end with the investigation. Their stories remain unfinished until their names are restored. And while decades have passed, unidentified does are still being recognized and identified every year. It is never too late for answers. If you recognize this description or remember someone who disappeared around 1990 and matches these details, consider submitting a tip to law enforcement or organizations that track unidentified persons cases. Their contact information will be in the description box below. Even small details that seem unimportant could help investigators connect the dots. Cases like this are often solved because one person remembered something others overlooked. Jane Doe Case, number 394 UFOK, has remained unidentified for more than 30 years, a woman lost in a tragic accident, and a name that still has not been recovered. But as long as her case remains open, there is still hope that someone somewhere may finally help bring her identity back. If you want to help keep cases like this visible, please like this video, subscribe, and share it so more people can see her story. And most importantly, let's continue remembering the unidentified.
Last seen by the gate, just after dark. A phone left ringing, a note, a mark. A face on a board, a town holds still. One missing piece against our will. Look close, stay sharp. Every detail leaves a spark. Find the trace, find the trace. Hold that line, hold that face. Find the trace, not tonight.